Cinemassacre's Monster Madness.
Okay, Human Centipede. Yeah. This is a movie I heard about when it came out, and I hadn't seen it until a few years afterwards. But when I first heard of it, I just thought to myself, like, okay, well, that's just like, how disgusting can you get? If anybody knows the concept of the film, it's about a guy who.
I can't wait to hear you just.
Yeah. Well, it's about some kind of crazy doctor who stitches together a bunch of people mouth to anus, and calls them the Human Centipede.
Right.
And I thought, when I heard that, I was like, okay, well, that's just like ingeniously disgusting.
Honestly, it sounds like your kind of movie, because you're always doing things with shit and poop and stuff. So what's the problem?
But not that is like a torture kind of like thing,
Yeah, it is.
And it's funny that the term torture porn, like I never really quite understood the porn part of it. It's more torture, but
there's definitely a sexual aspect to it. I mean, they're all like naked, and the whole thing is very just fucked up. It's a very fucked up movie.
Yeah, but I heard the idea and just thought, okay, well, that just sounds like complete shock value. They're just going to just try to shock you, and that's it. And then when I saw it, I thought, you know what? It was actually done pretty well. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was just like, oh no, I can't believe it. I can't believe that this actually turned out good.
Yeah, I mean,
for what it is, it's not like it's not,
I felt the same way about Saw, actually.
Okay, which we may or may not have gotten to already.
Yeah, both of these movies, I felt like I heard about them beforehand, and everybody was like, "Oh, they're so fucked up," and I felt like, "Oh, it's just people getting tortured the whole time." And Human Centipede, actually, I found it enjoyable. Like I like the story.
I wouldn't say enjoyable, but
I mean, enjoyable in terms of I thought the whole thing was just going to be torture and it was going to just be awful. Yeah. And at least there was a little more to it than that. It's more about the the psychotic doctor in the movie, and I thought it was interesting.
The idea is actually very simple. There's 3 tourists that get a flat tire, and then they have to stop at this guy's house, and then he drugs them all and tortures them, and does surgically joins them and does the whole Human Centipede thing. So it's very simple the way it is, but why exactly is it good? It's just
because it's disturbing, I think, and like you watch a horror movie, like it horrified me. Yeah, like the thought of somebody capturing you and doing that to you, it's a horrifying thought for sure.
Yeah, the villain, he has a great look, first of all, and he's like trying to be really scientific and everything, but he has a temper too. So he's just a very frightening character.
Have you seen the second?
No, I mean, if we want to get to the second, I mean, I have not seen it, but I know you told me you've seen it.
Just briefly about the second. The second one is even more messed up than the first one, because at least in the first movie, the guy's a doctor. He's a surgeon, I believe. In the second movie, it's a guy who watched the first movie, and he's not a doctor, and he tries to do all that shit, but he's doing it with like hammers and like just the worst tools, like using screwdrivers and stuff. At least the dude in the first movie was an actual surgeon. So that was one of the most fucked up movies I've ever seen, the second one, and I do not recommend it.
I refuse to watch it just because I don't think Human Centipede needed a sequel. Like, why does everything need a sequel? Why can't it just be a good idea? It was a one-time thing.
That's a problem these days in general with horror movies. And I even heard, this is probably just a rumor, but I heard that they were doing Human Centipede 3, and
didn't I know, I heard
from
that happened
from
already.
a rumor I heard that the doctor, this is probably not true, but the rumor I heard was that Brent Spiner was going to be the doctor.
Oh, really?
Which would be, he always plays like a mad doctor, and like, he was like in Independence Day and stuff like that.
See, if this were scripted, I would have done the research, but I think that movie's out.
Like, is it?
It might be.
Okay.
I think I remember reading about it being like it played already at a festival. I don't know. I forget.
Okay. Well, I'm going off like year-old
See, if this was scripted, I would have known. And if we looked it up, we'd know it just like that. But but I remember hearing that rumor too. Yeah. But what's good about the movie is that it's not as gory as you'd expect. A movie about a guy who stitches people mouth to anus, you'd think it'd be like, okay, it's just really graphic and gross, but it's actually more disturbing emotionally than it is like in your face. like the two girls who are stitched together, they're still friends, even though they're joined together. And the way that the Doctor refers to the whole thing as it's the human centipede, as if it's like one unit. Like he kind of like isn't thinking of it anymore as if it's three individual people stitched together. He's kind of considering it as one whole thing because it shares the whole digestion system now.
Yeah.
And that's really creepy. That's really fucking gross. And it's like there's nothing Halloween about this movie. Like Halloween is fun. This is Halloween to me, but this movie is just like straight up horror. This is real horror. And it's kind of reminiscent of like all the medical torture.
You feel like there's no fun aspect to it, like the Wolfman and Dracula and Frankenstein and all that, those kind of, and Freddy Krueger, all those kind of like villains.
Yeah.
That this movie doesn't really have that sort of appeal to it at all.
Yeah. Like all the World War II medical torture and things that happen. Like it's really like it's kind of reminiscing on things that are just really real and serious.
Would you consider the surgeon, the doctor in the movie, like is he comparable to something like Dracula or Freddy Krueger, but a modern day version of that? Because when people saw Dracula back in the day, they were terrified of that. And and Leatherface, a character like that, think of the things Leatherface did. When that movie came out, people were offended by it.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's more like along that. Yeah.
I feel like it's a modern day, version of one of those. It's super fucked up. Yeah, but you know what? People thought that about those other movies that I just mentioned when they came out. So I don't know. I don't know if it's comparable or if the line has gone so far that it's not even like do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah,
like when does it become like, horror? Wasn't it go from like kind of fun, horror?
Right.
Like, and what was once fun wasn't that terrifying? I mean, even back then, Dracula, Frankenstein wasn't scary when World War II happened, because that was all in the 30s, and then once the war was happening, then everything sort of became a little more like fun. In the movies were more about escaping the real world and not,
But I mean, from what I've heard, when people saw Dracula in 1931, when it originally came out, it scared the shit out of people.
Before that, yeah. Like in Ed Wood, when he's saying like, "Oh, I had to sleep with the lights on for like a week." Like that was what people, yeah. Yeah, I also like how there's a lot of parts in Human Centipede where there's no dialogue, because the characters are all stitched together, and the one who is in the front is Japanese, and he's speaking Japanese, and the doctor's speaking German, and then the people in the back, can't speak because they're all
their mouths.
Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of like they don't understand each other, and that was really a great idea. And you know that Roger Ebert gave this movie no stars? He said it was the only time he gave a movie no stars because this movie exists in a world where the stars don't shine.
Oh, well, that's a good quote.
Roger Ebert.
Yeah.
And have you seen the South Park episode, the Human Scent iPad?
I haven't. No.
Oh, it's a great one. It's how Apple always sends those updates, and then they have to read the agreement.
Oh, I know.
Like they send the agreement like every week, like, oh, read our terms again because we changed something else. Well, nobody reads that shit. Well, in the episode, they put something in there where they're allowed to join you all together into the new Scent iPad.
Okay.
So it's like that's basically the concept.
I want to watch that now.
It's a good one. It's a really gross one, but yeah, it's good. Anything else about Human Centipede?
It's disgusting. Check it out.
Yeah.